come up and whack the student in the head with a board, and it would and they would suddenly attain enlightenment. And that's one of the techniques of the masters, that some of them would do that to their students sometimes, and it would be the magic touch that would suddenly they would attain enlightenment. And I had a similar experience when this guy was beating me in the head with the hammer. Suddenly I came to realization and understanding of things that I had never known before. And once your eyes are open to things, you understand. You see what I mean? And part of what my eyes were suddenly opened up to was that this guy was trying to kill me. And before I got out of the emergency room from getting stitched up, the cops had teamed up with him. So that's just part of my enlightenment I'd like to share. There you go. Now I'm going to go get some tea water. And you have to entertain us.
I will entertain us.
So I'm going to go in the other room and listen on the TV and see what the audio sounds like. Well, there you go. Did you do that on purpose?
I did. So I wonder what in the world the city is doing to our sidewalks. If you know what they're doing to our sidewalks, then I'm glad for you, because I certainly don't know. But they seem to be going around and drilling up, or whatever you call them big machines, that chop up the cement, the corners on every sidewalk in town. It's not just in downtown, it's all over the city of Asheville. They're doing it all up and down Patton Avenue, they're doing it all up and down Haywood Road, and they're just chopping up the corners, and they're digging plumb down to the dirt, and then they turn right around with a cement truck and fill it back up with cement again. So I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to do, but it seems to me that that's kind of a waste of taxpayers' money there. Maybe they had an overage of money, and they couldn't figure out what to do with it, so they decided that they would create holes and fill them in with cement. Maybe that's what they decided to do. I don't know. But I hope somebody out there knows what they're doing, because I certainly don't, and I would like to see a news story about it to figure out what they're doing. Do you, John, know what they're doing to the city of Asheville sidewalks?
It's strange that you mention that, because I have an opinion about that too.
Have you seen what they're doing to them?
I have been watching what they're doing to them for some time.
They're chopping up the corners of every sidewalk, not the sidewalk itself, just the parts that go to the streets.
Okay, well now,
and then they fill them up with cement right after they chop them up.
Are they making handicap accesses?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
All right,
they don't appear to be. They appear to be cutting holes in them and just filling them back in.
I've been watching it for a while. Okay, and here's what I have seen happen. I have seen sidewalks that were old sidewalks in this town that were all lumpy and crazy, that were made out of bricks, real old bricks. And I always loved to walk up those sidewalks. Just looking at the various old bricks was entertaining to me. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was what a wonderful thing that we had some of the old streets with these old bricks on them. Mm-hmm. And then I watched crews of people come and pull up all the old bricks and take them off to I don't know where, and pour down concrete where those sidewalks were and make them all flat and level. And then they made the sidewalks wider as well. And the sidewalks, the streets were made wide enough so that cars could park on them and two cars could get by. And then they after they widened the sidewalks, then the streets were so narrow that if cars were parked on them, that people had to stop and go around, and they couldn't, and the streets would no longer streets that could handle the traffic that was on them for years and years could no longer handle the traffic that was on them for years and years. And they were making them that way at a time when we were getting more traffic in this town than we've ever had before. And all it didn't make that much sense, and particularly because there was a whole lot more people on the road than there were people walking on the sidewalk, which was now wide enough for 4 or 5 people to walk abreast. And the nice bricks were gone. And then they began to add to those little islands of concrete that jutted out from the sidewalks and stuff like that, and caused great huge obstacles, which if you had been driving down that road for the last 10 years, but you didn't know they had added one of those, it's quite a bump when you hit that for the first time and find out where they've added that.
Yes.
And when they put the new traffic circle out in front of UNCA, And I was usually used to whizzing through there pretty quickly. And all of a sudden, you find yourself in the middle of that traffic circle, and it's like, whoa, 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 you know. I thought I was going to have my fourth heart attack right there.
I love those roundabouts.
Yeah, now I can handle roundabouts if I know they're there. But when you find one for the first time on a street that you're used to just going whoop right on through, they can be
scary.
They can be scary.
It can be scary.
Yes.
And the nice thing about our roundabouts is that they did not add the signs that say roundabout.
They just have they should have a sign.
It says yield. It doesn't say roundabout.
It should say surprise.
It says yield on it.
It should say figure it out.
But they also did not add the etiquette signs, what I would consider driver etiquette, that says if you're turning, please turn your turn signal on. Now you'll see that in any other city in America that has a roundabout. There's little signs close to the streets that says if you're turning here, please turn your turn signal on so that person knows you're turning and they can go on.
They should have one of those at every intersection in Asheville.
Well, people don't do that. They're in these roundabouts and you're sitting there waiting on this whole line of traffic and every one of them ends up turning and you don't know if they're turning or not. So you sit there for no obvious reason. Other than you don't know if they're turning or not. So I try to turn my turn signal.
You think that's because people in Asheville don't know how to negotiate
I think that's
because
because people in Asheville don't know how to. Yes, I think that's
because we've not had them until just recently.
Had them until just recently.
And so now they need to educate the public about how to operate the roundabout.
So turn your turn signal on if you're going to be turning on the road. But not until you get to the road you're turning on.
Exactly.
Don't just turn your turn signal on and then drive around the roundabout.
But as soon as you see your turn coming up next, flip that turn signal on so I can go on.
Yes.
Jeez.
Absolutely.
It's just. How about just use your turn signals? Could we just say use your turn
signals? And then you've got those people that have their turn signal on all the time, so you pull out in front of them and you end up getting hit, or you just about get hit because they wasn't turning at all. They've had their turn signal on since 5 miles down the road.
Right.
You know.
Come on in, Wonder Boy. right here. This is the guy who's going to be the model for Johnny Ethanol.
Hey.
Johnny Ethanol.
Okay, if you're driving down the road and there's 2 lanes of traffic and you're on the outside, and don't stop and flag the person to pull out, because the person in the second lane, inside lane, won't see you pull out and you'll get hit.
Yes.
That's one thing. And also, people going straight have the right of way. Like, don't wait for someone to turn. You can go if you're going straight.
Exactly.
You know, right?
Exactly.
That's one thing I noticed. And I drive a moped, and my life is so at danger when someone stops the car and, come on, pull on out. And then I did that one day, and this huge truck was flying. I almost got creamed.
Almost got creamed. Oh,
so I heard you guys talking about that, and I
Yes.
just wanted to tell everybody not to flag people out on the road if you've got 2 lanes of traffic.
And another pet peeve. Another pet peeve is that when you're trying to get on the interstate, they have these things called speed lanes. And that's exactly what you're on, is an on ramp. We call them on ramps sometimes, but they're called a speed lane. And they're for you to speed up.
Yeah.
So when you're getting on the interstate, there's a reason those lanes are about a quarter of a mile to half a mile long. It's so you can get up to 60 miles an hour and merge into traffic. Instead of getting to the end of it. Acceleration lanes, that's right. I don't know why it's calling them speed lanes, but acceleration lanes.
Acceleration lanes.
There's a reason, though, that they're that long.
Right. Don't go up to the end of one of
And
them
stop.
and stop.
Yeah,
Because I'm driving down through there at 65, and I'm looking behind me, and the next thing I know, boom!
Right.
Yeah.
If you pull up to the end of one and stop, if you have to stop, because sometimes you may have to stop because it may be so tight that you can't get in.
Very seldom.
But don't just do it every time you go up one.
If the average car is doing 65 or 70, which they probably are, and you're already at 65 or 70, when you get to the end of that, there's no reason why you can't merge over in front of them, even if there's just a few feet. You can merge right over in front of them. People don't realize that. They get scared. They bow up and stop.
Bow up and stop.
And then everybody behind them just hits them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, if you pull out in front of somebody and you hear their tires screeching, because
or you hear this,
then if you hear their tires screeching, don't hit your brakes too. You should actually hit the gas. If you hear someone behind you screeching, it's probably because they're trying not to hit you, and
Yeah.
you slowing down is just making it worse.
Yeah.
Like my other friend that drives a motorcycle almost got killed that way.
So are you on your moped today?
Yeah.
Uh,
No. Yeah.
I don't
No,
think
yeah.
this is on. Is that on?
it is
Yeah.
on. I put it on. We've
Okay.
got another. Are we out of tea entirely?
We are out of tea entirely.
All right. You know what I'm going to do?
I don't know if this right here can be reused again or not, or if you have to put more in it. But this is
Well,
very
here
good
I've got
tea.
two. I've got two worn out.
Oh, whoa.
Put it in there. Just leave that in there.
Okay, so they're
I'm gonna
both
put it
worn out.
all in there. See what I mean? I'm going to make one little pot of wore out tea.
Okay, well that sounds good.
You know, I'm
One
gonna
little pot of wore out
Yeah, I'm
tea.
going to heat up some more
Have a spot of tea.
wore out tea. Would you
Spot
mind
wore out
having
tea.
wore out tea?
I love wore out
Do
tea.
you like
Spot
wore out
tea?
You love wore out tea.
Well, I love any kind of tea.
Is there any?
If there's any in there, pour it in
Let's
there.
do. Let's do that.
All right.
That'll kind of make that.
Oh yeah.
I can use some caffeine too.
Yeah, it's a little-
Yeah, there we go. There we
And
go.
I've got some water heating up
There
over here. As soon as it
we
gets
go.
hot, we'll pour that in there, and maybe before you leave, you'll have a little wore out tea.
Absolutely. I'd like to have a
Yeah.
little wore out tea.
I'm over in the
myself.
editing room. I came out for help and overheard you guys complaining about people's driving.
So
Me
did
riding a
you-
moped, I have to watch out even.
I heard you've turned in 3 episodes now. It's what I've heard.
3 episodes. I'm working on
What's
the
your show?
4th.
Uh-huh.
It's just
What's
I
it-
called them party tapes. I have a camcorder and I just record cool stuff and parties and people getting together and just whatever. So I made a clip of.
He's got a
movie
5-minute
of the
episode.
highlights
He's
of
got
all
5
my-
minutes of him puking in the toilet.
Well, not quite.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe 4.
It's like
Is it aired yet?
spewing out his nose and everything. It's good.
Is it actually
Yeah,
showing
that's
it?
good TV.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Is it actually showing it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
saw it on TV.
Oh, I love. No, I mean
It's
you
so
actually
good
got
to
the
see
camera
yourself
right there.
puking on TV
You've
on
actually
cable.
got the camera right there. Huh? Okay, that's good. So
Yeah.
it's not like behind you. You just
Sort of.
Yeah, I got somebody recording me.
Yeah, this is kind of behind him. It's not, but it's not.
Other stuff.
But yeah, you can see what's going on.
That's the
This
one
guy
thing-
trying to break a 40 bottle over his head was pretty entertaining, I guess.
Oh boy, I bet that hurt. It didn't break
Well,
the
he was
bottle.
wearing my motorcycle helmet, so
Oh, well, okay.
Well, that was cheating.
yeah.
Did he ever get it to break or not?
No, it flew out of the person's hand and broke on the ground.
So-
kind of counts for something.
So is that one of them shows where you pay people $20 to do weird things?
Yeah, but all you have to pay people.
He just gives them a
Like,
40 and says, "Do
I
dumb
like
things." He doesn't even have to just tell them to do dumb things. He just gives them a 40 and they do
Yeah,
dumb
give him a
things.
40 ounce.
How do you like our table cam?
Whatever
It's,
happened?
it's
to
not
the,
wired up, but if we had it wired up, you see, it'd be you'd
Pretty mini.
be. Are you ready for your close up?
I am.
It's also known as the nostril shot.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the guy that was doing that filming? I guess it's for MTV or something. He was paying homeless people $50 or $20 or $100 to do things like
Bum
eat
fights?
frogs and all that stuff. Was
I
that
don't
it?
know. I didn't really ever see that.
I
I
heard
don't
of
know.
some guy that was paying bums to fight.
Yeah, bum
Did he get in
fights
trouble
and
or
stuff like
something?
that. I think he did get in trouble. I just didn't know what happened to him. That's interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and put
Yeah, there's
that.
all kinds of great
A
stuff.
bum
Like,
can't even make a
we
living.
built a
That's
snowman and doused it in ladder fluid and
A snowman?
had charcoal eyes and clothes
Mm-hmm.
and set it on fire, and that was pretty fun.
Okay.
I don't know if that episode's played yet.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound fun. That sounds
Being
awesome.
crazy.
And you see my little strap here for my camera. It's a Speed Racer. I got the Speed
Ooh.
Racer strap.
Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a great cartoon when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was some Japanese animation, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
Dubbed in American.
When you came in and you did the show yesterday, didn't you? Did you notice there was a compressor?
I did notice
Did
that.
you use this
I
or
did not, no.
Okay, you went in
I
post.
went in. Yes.
Okay, you could have gone in pre
Yes.
and you utilized the compressor. Do you want to see what the compressor is like? Have you heard the show? You heard
I haven't
it?
heard. I didn't pay attention to
Okay.
the difference of it.
Well, run out into the lobby and Bill and I will talk.
Okay.
You know, and And because I heard Jen told me that you had turned in 3 episodes, and I didn't know you had even turned in
So you're gonna
more.
turn it off when I get out there, I guess. Huh?
No, it's on. We're just going to do it. I'll just let you hear what it sounds like when it's on there, and you can use the remote control and turn the volume up and down out there or whatever you need, so that you just see what the effect is. That's your microphone, sort of over there. Over there, you can kind of lean into that to that square thing. Lean into that square thing and say something cool.
Something cool.
That's right. I knew you were going to say that.
Duh.
Yeah. And you hear the cups going rink, 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 rink. But that's right. Well, anyway, that's the effect, and the way that is. So like if something gets very soft, we'll talk very soft.
Sounds good.
It keeps the audio at kind of a constant level. You're hobbling. What has happened to you?
I'm 35 yet, and I'm already broke.
What has happened to you?
I tore a ligament in the back of my foot.
When? Just recently?
About 5 days ago.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is it real?
Him too.
Is it real painful?
Yeah, the doctor wanted to put me in a cast.
Is it Achilles?
It's that, yes, the main tendon in the back.
I know what the Achilles thing is like. That's
Pulled it right out.
Man, that hurts like crazy. When I did that one time,
Because you're
that
supposed to keep
hurt.
your foot at a 90-degree angle for it to heal for like 5 weeks. But I said I ain't going to do no cast for nothing. So I do ice and things like that. It'll heal up. It ain't no big deal if it don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it'll heal up. I looked it up on the internet.
Did you?
Yeah, it'll heal up. I do all the right things for it and stuff, and make sure I stay off of it and keep it.
And you wouldn't let him put you in a cast? Why wouldn't you let him put you in a cast?
What in the world do I want?
Because then
like
you'd have to split all your pants
5
to
or
get
6
them on.
weeks. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
Well, if it don't heal in the next 5 or 6 weeks, I'll go back and get a cast. He might tell me then I got to cut it off.
Right, now's the time.
Do we want super hot tea or do we want just hot tea?
We want it to whistle.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because you said you didn't want super hot tea.
Well, if we wanted to,
You said you liked it
tepid, yeah.
tepid.
But it takes it a while to get there. You want some hot water for starters.
Okay.
My grandmother used to make some of the best tea, and I actually learned to make tea from my grandmother, and I don't make it that way here, but.
Did she make?
I'll tell you what you could do. You could put some of that tea right there, in that you could fill this up with that tea. Do that. And here's how my grandmother used to make tea. My grandmother always made tea from loose tea.
Now, did she ever make any of that tea that you can make from dandelion?
No. She always made just basically Lipton. You know what I mean?
It's cold tea.
American grandma tea.
Cold tea. Okay.
Well, but she started out with hot. And how she always made tea was she had a little pot. She always used the same small little pot, and she filled that pot with water, and she took one little handful of loose tea and put on the top floated on the top of the water, and she put it on her gas stove, and she turned it on, and it heated up. And when that tea came to a boil, it boiled up around the edges, and then when it hit a certain degree of rapid boil, it what I call turned over. The tea turned over, and then it was swirling in there. And as soon as the tea turned over, she turned the flame off or took the pot off eventually, and set it to the side and let it steep for just a little bit there. And then she poured it through a strainer into a big tea pitcher, and then filled it up the rest of the way with water, and put sugar in it. Made your basic Southern sweet tea.
Yeah.
I had dandelion wine before.
Is it good? What did it taste like?
Homemade wine out of dandelion.
Was it bitter or was it sweet? What did it taste
A
like?
long time ago. It was good.
Really?
It was good. Can't remember.
Is
it
it
too
scary?
good, so it must have been good.
Is that scary? It's noise? Okay. You see, we put your thing out. It's hard for me to find a place the thing is so darn big. It's hard for me to display it. Well, you see, it's not even in the
shot. Your
shot.
bunny on the first show, and it was down there, and that was cute. He was dancing up and down, and his little eyes was coming above the.
Okay. But it is hard to find a place to put it. Maybe if I sat it on that cart, it would be right in the edge of the shot, like looking over the teacup.
On the table, like someone's drinking out of it.
We had it sitting on the table the first time I brought it in.
We've had it.
It looked everybody.
It made it look as though everybody was sitting way, 100 feet down the table
It was
there
the
because it was so big. And then I was noticing too that with this black background that I could pull off some great old-fashioned magic tricks, stuff that magicians don't do anymore because of the black background.
And where are your magic tricks? Did you bring your magic tricks in?
Those I don't really have any of them. I know how they work, so I'd have to build them. But it's just basically
some of those with like scarves and things are happening.
Yeah, you're utilizing the black, and of course, typically you want black lights.
See it? It's told us it's time.
Typically you want black lights.
Would you want to go with this?
However,
Sure, stick it in there.
I've noticed that that for whatever reason on the TV screen you wouldn't have to have black lights in here. You
Right.
could utilize the lights that you've got,
That's right.
and it would work.
It's true.
The magicians just don't use that technology anymore, which I wouldn't call it technology, but they just don't use that anymore. Well, I shouldn't say they completely don't use it. They do somewhat, but it's different. It's a different technique. But the magicians used to use backgrounds, back in the 1600s, 1500s, all that, when they theater.
I saw that y'all hung up a piece of blue cloth yesterday.
Don did that, yes.
I don't see it now.
He took it with him.
Okay, let me see. I might have been able to find what has happened to his other cloth. Let me go see if those people are out of the other studio, and if they are, I'm going to see if I can find it. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
Y'all carry on.
We'll
Here.
carry on.
Here, have some microphone.
Is this TV ready soon?
Yeah, we'll be ready soon. Give it
You don't
5.
have to dip it or turn it or nothing?
You can, but give it 5 minutes.
See something to do?
Okay. See, it still looks a little light, don't you think?
Yeah.
5 minutes.
I've just learned how to make tea good. Just get at least half a lemon and squeeze it and put it in your tea. So I've been drinking green tea lately, but I can never make it taste good. I'd always burn it or something. But a half a lemon will make any kind of tea taste much better.
Half a lemon. I don't prefer lemon in my tea. My wife does. She'll take lemon and stick it 3 or 4 wedges right in her tea, but I don't prefer it that much. At least in my sweet tea, anyway. That like you get at a restaurant or whatever.
I guess these are old ones.
Yeah. It won't be such old tea now since we put the new stuff in it.
Yeah. So I'm just making I'm in the editing room making
Yes,
a
you did
memorial.
find them.
Now, I know that Don and Richard are watching the show if they're not recording it. And here I want to present you with I have finally located somebody had drug those into Studio A. And I did not know it had happened, but I have found the material.
Well, I'm going to stick it right there.
And Don, I'm sorry that somebody snagged it and took it off into another room. But there.
I think it'll be okay.
Oh, I'm sure he'll just be happy to get it back. And he'll have his...
Something about he paid $20 a foot for it or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's too much.
I know.
Well, anyway, there it is.
It supposedly is it's supposed to be actual key in blue, but it's not. That's not key blue.
Uh-uh.
No. That's too light.
Yeah.
So
It's close.
It's close enough to where a keyer would pick up on it, but
Yeah. Well, there it is. And there it is, Don. We got you blue. And the blue looks good behind Don. He looks good behind blue. Uh-huh. But, I mean, in front of blue. You know what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's
And
looking
it
like...
fell on me last night. It just fell.
I know,
on
and
me.
you started laughing when that happened. I know. See, I watch your show too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You know.
That's wonderful.
And have you been hearing me plug?
Yes. Oh, we need to plug before we go here.
Tonight.
It's 7:30 to 8:30.
7:30 to 8:30 tonight is
Sound Off Bunkum.
Sound Off Bunkum.
Sound Off.
That's
Bunkum.
right. And
You ain't got your Your
I turned it off. It just wasn't showing up on the black. It just was a waste.
well, it does show up actually.
It didn't. It wasn't looking right, and somebody's been messing with it, and the gobo's not in there straight, and I just turned it off. It was just so much. I didn't want to bother with the heat. Now in the wintertime, if it gets chilly in here, we'll run that thing.
That looks about right for me. I'm going to take a sip.
I think
of that.
it's looking
I'm gonna
good.
Take a sip of that if you guys
See
don't
what
mind.
that's doing. You think-
Well, it may still be a little light. I don't know.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be. It's some
But that
wore
looks
out
really
tea.
good.
We're
It looks
brewing
really
wore out tea. We go ahead and have
Yeah,
some. No, just leave it all that
spoon
stuff in
here.
there. Why'd you drop that thing in there?
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice I
No,
did
it
that.
doesn't matter.
I was trying to pick them all up and do them all.
No, I don't do them all.
Get fancy.
Just do one.
I take.
Do you want some of that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, tell us if it's any good.
It's always good. That tea right there. I'm gonna have to go get me a can of that,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know what I'm buying.
Woo Ye Star.
Woo Star, but wouldn't that's just the name of the company? I mean, wouldn't there
right.
be?
Well, that's this right here.
Yeah.
You see what it says. You see what it.
actually-
You see
you
what it
actually
says.
read that from
You
right to
see.
left.
You see what it says there, don't you?
Yeah.
That right there. Just
Just
memorize.
find that name right there.
Memorize those symbols. See what this one looks like? Sort of like a tall thing with a cross on it.
It
Here,
almost looks
this looks like
it
three
almost
things.
looks like an Atari sign, don't it?
See, this is three things sticking up. 1, 2, 3. See, this one's like a little T. Remember that? This is like a 3-piece T. This is just a jumble of stuff, and this looks kind of like pie with a little twick on it.
Okay, so we got
You know?
pie, Atari, sword,
A T, a sword, okay,
and a crown.
something, okay. And
There
if
you
you
go.
can remember that, you
And
can.
that looks like
Atari
that looks
sword
like the
crown.
side
This
of a,
right here, I've
that's
learned.
the side of a Japanese
that's-
building.
I think that's a tea house or something right there. I don't know that for sure, but that looks like a little house, doesn't it?
That looks like the side of a Japanese building where
Okay.
where that door would be or whatever.
All right.
So we'll just say, but you're actually supposed to read from right to left, so it's actually a crown,
A sword,
Atari,
Atari,
side of a house,
and a
pie.
pie with an extra little thing hooked on it.
a pie with a tail.
Yeah. Okay.
Show everybody
think
and
you
see what
can-
they think.
Now, if you can remember that,
I
you can
think
get that too.
Yeah, somebody out there can probably read that.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Mrs.
it's
Wa-
actually
Mrs.
got
Wa- Mr. and Mrs. Wang can read
It's
that.
actually got numbers on it I can memorize.
Do they mean
I
anything?
don't know.
I'll just look for a yellow can.
Yeah.
I would say that that's probably a copyright 2002,
Okay.
and that's probably a picked in 2001 because it shows it. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
It shows a tea house, a tea leaf. Yeah.
Yeah.
That says we picked
That has
this
the
in
table can.
2001
The
from our
nostril
tea
shot.
fields in China, Beijing.
What? No. What
Yeah.
did it say? Say it again.
We picked this in 2001 in our tea fields in China.
Oh yeah. So it's vintaged
Mhm.
too.
2001. That's why it's so good. That's why it's got that smoky flavor.
Mm-hmm.
They let it sit out in a barn somewhere where all the little children went and smoked.
Oh, I see. That's probably true. Yeah. That's good.
You know, on their days off. All that child labor.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, let's see what we got here.
You got some music, huh?
You wanna hear?
I heard it earlier, unless it's different music. I don't hear any music. Oh, there we go.
Exactly. Oh. Exactly. Oh, he's got something good playing.
Always.
Oh, he's got some good tunes playing and some good tea. That's about all we can hope for around here. I think you can get more out than that.
Absolutely. You can get more than that out there.
Conserving.
Oh, no need to. We're almost off there. We done had our
Oh, you
hot
just
tea.
didn't like the leaves floating around in it.
No, I don't
You can
mind that
get
so
your
much.
fortune at
They
the
go
end of the. You can get your fortune at the end of the thing by reading those tea leaves.
Absolutely. And if you just drink them, it'll just, through osmosis, you'll get your fortune.
Came out okay for
It
its
did.
wore out tea.
It
It's
did.
okay wore out tea.
It's okay. Well, we put the new in it a little bit.
A little
so.
bit. You're just getting used to hot tea. You weren't at all used to hot tea, and you've had a little bit of decent hot tea now, and you drink it now, don't you? I've told Don and them, that you'll be a flaming liberal before
Well,
it's
you
over.
After last night, I think he agrees.
Hey,
but
just let me encourage you. You can do no better than to be honest to your own
yeah.
feelings and what you think, and that's
Right.
and no one can ask any more of you, and if they do, they're asking what they shouldn't ask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the way it is.
And you told me to get Richard to drink a cup of tea.
He
I
did. And you see now he's starting to come around. He's a hard case.
He didn't come by today. I think he was afraid I'd make him drink
Another cup of tea, and then be on that show.
It may not be the tea. It may just be you're they're afraid of.
No, I don't believe they're afraid of me. Do you?
No, I'm just.
I don't think
I'm
so.
just messing with you.
No, but I love them to death. I really do.
Absolutely. I love
I
everybody.
violently disagree with many of their concepts, but
You know what? I
but,
agree
you know,
to disagree, but I love everybody.
Uh-huh.
We're all just God's children here on this earth, trying to get through the same thing. And
I know, and the more we realize that, the more chance we might have of making it through.
yes,
But we just
nobody's better than anybody else. People's got more money, people's got less money, but it doesn't make them any better or any worse.
Mhm.
People have their opinions, and God
Except
gave
for
us a brain.
crackheads. Except for
Yeah.
crack.
Yeah, don't
Don't
smoke
smoke
crack.
Dude, just if you could, if you can go away from having watched this tea show and with nothing else, but you've learned that one thing: don't smoke crack. It is worth it.
Yeah.
That alone.
Don't smoke crack. Don't huff
smoke
paint.
crack. Yeah, well, that's right. That is true. That is true. Because if we could just learn, if that's all you can take home with you, do it.
And the bad thing about it is you can tell a crackhead because their teeth are falling out.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It just eats away. I don't know what it is.
How is that?
I don't know what part of the crack it is that does that, but
I'm wondering. I was thinking about that today, and
But it's
I'm
quick.
wondering what. I know it is, and I'm wondering what do dentists
I don't know.
think about that. Dentists have to look at and they go, well, here's another crackhead. Jeez, look at that. All their teeth are all crooked and sideways. People that had decent teeth, and then like a month later, they're all crooked and sideways and sticking up and down and all.
Well, they're disappearing. They just turn rotten black, and
Yes.
they just start disappearing.
I just had never seen anything like it, and their
I
whole.
wonder what it is, and I don't even know what's in crack.
I don't even, but it's just, but
Other than
whatever
it's got Sudafed, I guess, in it.
it
or
just messes up their whole,
ephedrine,
messes up their whole life just right now, doesn't it?
instantly. I mean, if they're not dead the first puff, they might as well be because they're addicted. I mean,
It
I don't
seems
know
like
if they- yeah.
I have seen people get their life together, but it seems like there's always an edge on them. Like they never get
I don't
over
think you
it.
fully recover from it.
It seems like they never get over it completely. I'm serious. Now look at him. He's looking like this. You've been smoking some crack.
No, his teeth are good.
Have you ever smoked?
they're
In
good.
fact, his teeth are perfect. So.
I know he hadn't smoked enough
So
crack to make
he's
his
either
teeth fall
either
out.
doesn't smoke crack or he's been to the dentist
I
and they haven't
smoke
finished.
crack light.
He's crack light.
I smoke crack light. It's easier on your
Crack
teeth.
light.
Yeah. It's got less rat poison in it.
Diet crack.
Diet crack. Whew.
But it does, man. It destroys drugs just in general. Just destroy people's lives. I mean, and when I speak of drugs, I'm even speaking of alcohol and
Well, yeah, alcohol's just as bad
really even
as
tobacco.
any of them out there.
Tobacco is just
Yeah, what tobacco does to the circulatory system.
well, not to
is
mention the
so
rat
bad.
poison that's in it and all that stuff.
That's a nice little
It's
tripod
just,
you got.
That's a circus best battle.
Well, that's the new one you got. It's a nice
I've got
one.
the other one.
those are good tripods for the price, but
Pat's going
But
to order
that's,
me one that you got, Randy.
oh,
She's
you're
gonna
good.
order me one.
You'll like that tripod.
She thinks she can get a good price on it. So
Yeah,
Told
you'll
her
like
she's
the
gonna order me
tripod.
one. I pay her cash.
Yeah, they'll give her a deal up there. B&H.
What kind of plug you got on the other end of that? It's like a weird little plug in it. What's it go in?
Come on. How are you, John?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've been seeing those plugs pop up.
Yeah, I don't like them.
That's the AV plug.
Yeah.
And they got what you can plug into the same spot and come out with an S video if you buy the optional cord.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I have the optional cord. This fell out of my bag, and he happened to see it laying over there last night and picked it up for me. So, I don't even use it really, but he just picked it up for me, and I appreciate that. And
I don't have any cameras that use that plug on them.
That's
the new one they've come out with. You know how every time you turn around, they got to come out with a new plug.
Not only had it fell out of my bag, but one of my boys, I guess, had seen it over there, and they plugged it into
the wrong thing,
to the thing over there.
So nothing, no video.
And so they were in here last night Tim was trying to plug into this, and he was going, it don't plug. Well, what do I do? So they couldn't figure it out, and then they realized that once they unplugged this
Look, that's me.
from that thing, that is you.
Let's see what this is. Hello? Hey, Donna, I know you're not watching the show, are you?
No. We're doing a bridge tonight.
Uh-huh. Oh, good. Uh-huh. Oh, good, go ahead.
This is your reminder call that you asked me to do.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be going camping
Right.
tomorrow, Saturday.
All right.
Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
I'll be with you.
Uh-huh.
So you got 3 shows turned in. You're working on more.
Working on
you're
one
leaving
more.
tomorrow
So
morning.
I think I've picked through all my footage, and I'm about picked through on all that.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
I got to make more footage if I want to make any more shows, or else keep digging,
Keep digging.
find stuff.
I want to come over there. I want to stay there Friday and Saturday.
I've got about 15 or 20 tapes of
Right.
just stuff
Right.
Right.
recorded. I got a lot of
With the wasp nest.
recording of music too,
Are they really?
so I could put on
Really?
a lot of music shows.
Okay. All right.
You make the next MTV,
There you go.
All right.
MTV3.
MTV3.
Oh. Oh. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, whenever you want to come over tomorrow, that's fine.
Okay. What time do y'all plan to leave?
Well, that pot did not go to waste.
No, it didn't.
That
Didn't go very far
Oh, uh-huh.
either. Well, I about
Okay.
wasted it.
I would have thought for sure that pot would have went to waste this time.
All right. Well, what time would that
But it
be?
did not.
That I should get there early.
Drink 2. You guys drink 3 pots? 2.
Uh-huh.
Last
Yeah,
week
tell me what
we
time
went
would that
through 5 pots, I think, because it was such
Okay,
good. It was
I'm
the
not
same
gonna
team.
say I'll be there
And
at that
boy,
time,
it was.
but-
We were
But I
going to,
know
but we
what-
had a
what
crowd
that
of
is.
people here too.
Yeah, do that. And okay, what I was wanting to ask
got
you
a-
is
that's
there,
got a
is there
nice
anything
smoke
special
flavor
I
to it.
need to know, or
It's
will
a-
everything be obvious?
smoky.
And is there some special amount I'm supposed to feed any kitties? Anything? The bags are just there and obvious, and so are their bowls, etc.
I take it John is house sitting,
Okay.
cat sitting,
All right. Do that.
something.
Oh, and do they get in and out? Do they have a door where they can get in and out? Do they need? Okay.
I try to leave Izzy in the house at night,
Uh huh.
but sometimes she wants to stay out.
Have some fun? Okay, everybody, here we go. Let's
Won't turn off.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'm glad he got that little mic
All right.
fixed. I like that thing.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
I found some
seems-
on.
And where's the cat? Where's the cat bowl
Seems more
for
like
the
a mic
outdoor
that would
cat?
read.
Out by the back door.
Vibrations and
It does.
like if I knock on this, I
Right.
bet it's driving the
It's
people at home
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, so you
Okay. All right.
can hear that. I know you can, especially if we do that right there. But I looked for some online. I found some at
Okay.
B&H Photo.
All right.
I'm sorry, not B&H Photo. Musician's Friend, and you can get them as low as about $60, but they're bigger than that. They seem to stand up about that tall. And
All
I've
right.
seen,
Well, that sounds all real
judging
good
by
to
the
me, and
picture,
I'm
now, I
looking
don't know
forward
for
to it.
sure.
Yeah.
But now they have some that are
That's
even better, I guess.
That's
than
okay, I have
$69
some.
ones, and they're like $200.
Okay. Yeah.
But those are really good mics. They're discreet. You can have them hidden.
All right.
and pick up on
I
a lot
probably
of
won't
stuff.
see you till you get back.
Obviously, you can hang them up, I
Okay.
guess, on something, like on a wall or something.
Okay, you too. Have fun.
And
All right.
So
Say
why
hey
do
to
they make them
everybody.
like that? Is it going to pick up
Okay.
sound better? Or
well, I guess
Further
it's
away,
for the
or-
discreetness of it, to be able to keep it out of the way, so it's not a big mic sticking up like this, and you're able to.
Well, it's a good sounding mic.
where does
And
this
it
I found some
sensor?
at
Does it
Musicians
pick it
Friends
up
for
right here?
69. It's
Are
picking
they,
up right through here.
are they like that?
They're just like that, but
Uh-huh.
they appear by the picture to be a little taller. On
their crown,
the
right?
Crown, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know for sure.
The little taller, the base is taller, or just the little mic
The
head is
little
taller?
mic head's taller. It
okay.
appears to be.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, but you better do your scientific facts.
Okay, scientific fact is a proven scientific fact that things are a lot more like they are now than they ever have been.
Exactly.
Right, and as long as there's something moving on the TV screen and noise coming out of the box,
Woohoo!
that people will sit and watch it.
And listen,
Is there anything else?
it's a scientific fact that something you're looking for is always in the last place you look.
The last place you look. You'll always find it in the last place you look.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because if you keep looking after you've found it, you are an idiot, aren't you? Except if you are an idiot.
It's a scientific fact that the laws of physics break just to make me angry.
Yeah.
Like I'll be doing something, and something that is mortally impossible will happen,
Will happen
just
to
so
you.
it can get my being. I have to watch my language.
Right.
It's a scientific fact that what goes up must come down.
Unless it goes up far
Unless it
enough.
goes up far enough, it goes through the atmosphere,
Gets into orbit.
float away. And don't forget about thisismyband.com.
That's right. And I may as well tell you to check out psychoacousticresearch.us. That's one word. Psychoacoustic research is one word. .us.
Or you can go to thisismyband.com/Dr. Blackwell,
Really?
and there's a link on there you put on there.
To psychoacoustic.
Yep,
Really?
sure is.
All right. And what's your website?
Mob experience at yahoo.com. But you gotta misspell it the way the person that gave me my face misspelled it. EXPRIANCE experience.
Okay.
I guess that's a good way to remember it. And this is my music, my band, MySpace. And I was looking at Johnny Mnemonic. Did you, or what's that guy?
Johnny Ethanol?
Johnny Ethanol.
Johnny
Yeah.
Ethanol.
I was looking at that.
Okay.
You need people to draw it out.
I know.